works. Let's see.
I see some top of somebody's, there he is, Carl, okay.
There's Carl.
Now, is everybody seeing everybody okay?
I can even see Randy.
Okay. Well, now that we're getting people together, I'm going to turn this over to Earl because he's our leader. Has everybody gotten the agenda? Hello?
Yes.
Hello.
Has everyone gotten the agenda for today?
Yes.
Okay.
An agenda.
I actually
We-
don't
we
have an
don't.
agenda.
Oh, there's Josh.
That's good.
Let's see here. Got it. It's just
Okay.
camera.
So, Zoom. Hi, folks.
Hey, Earl, it's in your court now. I'll leave it up to you.
I talked to John yesterday, John Duff, and he planned on being able to join us, so we'll wait a minute or two. I've got about 2 minutes before 12. And then we only get 40 minutes, so we better move this along, right?
No jokes.
Like I said, I'm recording this if John wants to see it later. Who's Moto Z4?
You don't need this.
Hi, Carl.
Hello.
Oh, okay. That's yeah.
Hi, Ann.
Hello.
Is that John?
Randy keeps going in and out on me.
I saw Duff a little bit ago. I dropped my worksheet off to him. Of course, they're closed. Just
Right.
putting stuff through the mail slot. That's true.
Has anybody had any problems getting on?
So it was easy for me today.
A little more so than yesterday, huh?
Yes, yes. So the iPad worked, the computer didn't.
Okay, well, I've got 12 o'clock on my Apple phone here, so I guess we can get started.
John Duff.
And I'm sure that John will be
He's here.
joining us shortly.
He's here.
I don't get it.
Okay?
Hi, Ann Graham.
Hello, John.
Oh, there's Carl's ear.
Yeah,
Okay, then, we'll call the meeting to order, and the first order of business is minutes.
And the February minutes were distributed by email.
Hannah, were you able to get the minutes over to Carl for the last meeting?
Yes, and he published them in the newsletter. Yes, yeah, they're all done.
Yes.
John Bruce, can you hear me?
yes.
Oh,
Can
God.
you hear
I
me?
can You too. Terrific.
Hey, John.
Hello.
Well, can we have a motion to accept the minutes?
Second.
I'll say aye.
There we go. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Good.
Can I talk somebody into sending me the agenda just via email? I've got my
Yeah,
system
hold
up
on.
here. Thanks, Dave.
John is in focus finally.
Sorry, guys.
We were just in time, John. Do we have a finance report? Could you tell us where we are and what we might be doing?
Well, yeah, I didn't know how to do this, but I have our regular finance report. For the month of February, we didn't have anything go through service account. No income or expenses. Pretty dead month. As far as admin account, we just had our regular meals and our meals expense. Total income for the service or the admin account was $771. Meals expense was $727. So we had a net income of $44 in the admin account.
Wow.
So other than that, there wasn't any activity in the service account for the month of February.
Move
John, could you
approval.
send it? Go ahead, Ann.
I move approval of the finance report.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 John, could you send us a copy of that on an email?
I absolutely can.
Good.
Is that okay?
Appreciate
I
that.
didn't want to send it before I had your guys' approval to do that over email. So that's fine.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Next question we really need to deal with is the status of our upcoming events. And we have a number of items, and it just seems uncertain about where we might be going with some of these. We know we have the fish fair, which has most likely been canceled.
Fish fair has been canceled.
Okay. We have the prayer breakfast, which is going to be done in a different format. Is that right, Dan?
That's correct.
Okay.
We're going to do it probably conference, Zoom-like. Josh is helping me put that together, and we may have even more attendees to that than we would if we did it physically. I'm going through all the churches, past people who have been participants, probably have as many people that are wanting to lead in prayer as we've had in the past. So certainly on that morning, probably at like 7 or 8 o'clock, haven't got that nailed down yet, but probably for an hour or so, we will gather together via conference and pray. And I'll lead it.
Appreciate you doing that. The big item we have is, of course, the Vintners dinner. And Carl, what's your thoughts on that right now?
Well, our committee decided to postpone. So May 15 seems to be within the what will be limits imposed on group meetings. So I've kind of stopped seeking sponsors, feeling there was going to be a lack of response. I would hope that we could, and we have several thousand. I should have looked that up. I think we have $7,000 or $8,000 in commitments, counting a couple of corporate tables. So we have a good start. I would hope that we could, when we see an all clear on the pandemic situation, we can pick a date about 2 months out from that point to allow us more time to regroup and hope to create an event that would rival last year's in profitability.
Yeah, Carl, I think you probably talked with John, but talking with John Duff a little bit, the golf tournament appears to be somewhat in jeopardy. And the thought was that maybe that'd be something in July or August. Does that make sense?
John and I talked about maybe using, is it July 12th? Is that the date that the golf tournament was scheduled, John?
Yes, sir.
So I guess we've got our eye on July 12th, but I also checked with Redmond Community Church, and they are available any Friday night in June and July at this point, and they're happy to be flexible.
Are there other events that we should be thinking about that have not brought up yet.
What about Flag Day? Putting up flags?
So the flag committee has a commitment, trying to meet, maybe doing it virtually on April 15th to discuss cleaning the holes and putting up flags on Flag Day. I think that activity can be done with social distancing, so I hope it will go forward.
And hole cleaning, am I on this?
We can hear you, not see you though.
Who's that?
Oh, good. I'll make faces at you. This is Gary.
Yeah, Gary,
Hole cleaning is scheduled for May 2nd.
right.
That's Saturday.
By the way, Josh, I sent you an agenda. You should be getting in your email.
Okay, so that's kind of the status of where we are. Are there other things, Ann, you can think of, or anybody that we should be thinking about?
Just that if months after June, it's liable to start to bump up against Oktoberfest for hitting all the sponsors. And I'm curious, frankly, if we're going to come out of this virus episode negativity about big events that draw crowds of people together.
Yeah.
So.
But that's it. I think at the end of the day, we just have to be flexible and see where we go, since there are so many unknowns. And that kind of leads us to the next item, though, and that is as a result of not having a number of events that bring money in, how we're going to deal with the budgeted items we have to send money out, and to deal with the requests that most likely will come in the near future. Any thoughts?
I think we just need to show prudence as we consider things.
Prudence
I-
is our new board member.
Yeah, I just think we got to take them as they come, and I think our old budget for right now doesn't work right now, and we're gonna just have to assess things as they come in, and do what we can. If we can have even a scaled down or a vintner's dinner and an Oktoberfest, of some kind, we might be okay for some of these things. But I just think we got to take them as they come in.
Do we have any outstanding requests at this time, John, from organizations that say, we thought we were getting so much money and we'd like to have you send it to us now?
I think the only one that came in was the one from Rachel.
Okay.
And there wasn't a dollar amount attached to that, if I recall.
Yeah.
Well,
But
somewhere in there it said $5,000.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
They were trying to get that as a match with
Yeah,
the
with
chamber or something.
Central Oregon Realtors
Oh, okay.
or
I-
Redmond.
I would say that our one commitment at the end of the year that we do is the scholarship. I'm assuming we're still going to go forward with that, as we're trying to do a virtual a review of all the scholarship applications. So I assume we're going to still go forward with that one.
Do we have money to cover it, John?
Yes.
So we awarded, for instance, last year we awarded about 18,000 in scholarships, but only 2,500 of that came from the club's budget. So if we need to be showing prudence, then 2,500 would be the only portion of that would be in jeopardy.
Good. Again, it's hard to make a hard, fast decision. I think, like John said, we just need to be able to watch what we've got coming in and watch what the demand for going out, and have to deal with those kind of on an ad hoc basis as they come in, at least until the future seems a little more certain one way or the other. Does that seem like
Yeah.
a reasonable position to everybody?
Yeah, but I think we got to keep an eye on the scholarships. So I'm trying to think of everything on the budget. To me, that's that's off the top of my head, that'd be number one in my mind. I know there's some other ones, but that's all I could think of right now. Because that's given to the future. And if it's $2,500, I didn't hear the finance report because I was still trying to learn how to do this, but when is the scholarships, when are they awarded?
They, we usually make our decisions in late April or early May. I think the first award ceremony is at RPA on May 12th. So we need to have decided how much we're giving prior to May 12th.
John, is it $2,500 that we have more or less pledged to the foundation for the scholarships? We have that sitting in the reserves right now.
Yeah, and we usually do that at the end of the year.
And normally the scholarships physically are handed out in terms of money after the youngster goes to college?
They're handed, yeah, go ahead, Carl.
In the second term, so we've been writing checks. Gary's been writing checks since January. We still have some outstanding scholarships from last year that have not been paid. So there's another factor that historically, if students do not, they have an April 15th deadline to apply for their funding. And if they don't apply by April 15th, then we re-award those dollars. And we still have several thousand outstanding here. So we could even be, use that 2,500 in lieu of what's in the budget.
I guess the point is since we don't have to write the check out over the next 6 months or so, we will most likely, hopefully, have several events that will bring money in. So we should be able to cover that $2,500 one way or another. Is that correct?
Correct.
And I guess the point I'm just making is that I think if we have pledged that money out or pledged that we're going to give these scholarships, that we can go ahead with all the same that we've done in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We do have fewer applicants this year. So it's possible we might even award fewer dollars.
Okay.
That's to be determined.
Are there other items under this particular topic we should talk about?
Well, is there another budget item that we consider a priority? Or we just sit and wait and see what happens?
Hello? Hello? I'd like to ask, Truman has to ask something about the scholarships before we leave it.
I'd like to ask where the applications themselves are now.
On my desk.
Thank you. That's what I thought, but
You're next.
down. I figured if you're doing taxes, you're not able to give them.
I'm about done with them, so probably tomorrow I'll have them to you.
Oh, great.
He's got a delay till July.
Oh, Gary. Hey, by the way, Gary, I'm doing my census thing.
Good, about time.
Oh, no, it's not due till tomorrow.
That's true. Tomorrow's Census Day.
Well then, if there's nothing else on that topic, let's move on to members' health status. All our folks in good shape that you know of, Dan?
Everybody in good shape, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No one needs to be able to get out to get groceries or any of that stuff, that everybody's pretty well taken care of. Good, good.
I saw Dick Keene this morning and he was doing fine and seems in excellent spirits.
Good, good.
I don't know if it makes any sense to do, but one thing we're doing at the church that I'm involved with, the deacons and the elders, we divided our entire membership up. Each person has about 10 people on their list, and they once a week just call and check in and see how everybody's doing. I don't know if maybe the board wants to do something like that, where we have between the 9 of us or 10 of us that are here today, we could divide our list, and there'd be about 4 or 5 people just to make a verbal phone call to, kind of keep everybody in touch. I mean, we get Carl's emails, and those are wonderful, but sometimes a verbal phone call or something like that is kind of nice too.
And I thought I would send these minutes out to all of the members, not just the board, so that members know what we're doing.
I kind of like the idea. I think, we have 60 members or something, and we usually only see 20 people. And having a conversation with somebody saying, thank you for your continued support of Kiwanis. How long have you been a Kiwani? And a little chat will probably be considered a very nice thing. I'm willing to do it.
I agree.
Me too.
Okay, to do it then, Carl or Dan, since you're the committee on that, could you kind of divide some names up and give them to us?
Carl, if you could do that, that'd be helpful to me.
I can do that. I can send out the roster and and assign an appropriate number to each.
Yeah, there's 8, 9 of us, so whatever, just divide it by the membership and just make a call. Good idea. Good idea.
By the way, CNN just put out a safety checklist for people who have to get groceries, things like that, what they should do. I sent out a copy to everybody.
Good.
What does
Hey,
that? Oh, that's
Truman?
okay.
Yes,
Are you still doing Meals on Wheels?
I am under new rules.
Okay, just checking, because the sheriff's office was asking for volunteers. That's what I'm asking you, so, good.
We can use help in the kitchen. I don't think you'd have to go through that laborious background check if you did that. There's no, by the way, there's no dining room service anymore.
Right.
Only Meals on Wheels. We have to leave the meal outside the person's home, ring the bell, go back and see if they get it, to see if they come out. It's sort of keep your distance is being observed. Otherwise, I have the same list that I've had before.
Okay, thank you.
I'm concerned about people over 60 going out and doing all these things because they advise against it. But what do people think about that? Do you think it's okay for us to go outside and help people like that?
Hell yes.
You like,
Tell us what you really think, Ann.
like that dangerously, huh? Okay.
Well, we'll let some of that just go, I guess, and do what we can to volunteer where we can and where it's appropriate. What do you think about these online meetings? I mean, one thought was that we tried to hold it with the general club. Just wonder what people's thoughts are.
I don't know how that would work with the general club. I mean, we have a social hour and then we have a presentation. How would we put a presentation into something like this? I don't think it would work.
I don't think involving the whole club would work. I think it'd be too difficult. But I'm impressed with how well things are going for this size group.
Well, I could send a joke out every week to everybody.
Oh, no.
That'd last a week.
It,
My issue is,
it might create a virus for the computers.
problem now is we're limited to 40 minutes. Now, if everybody thinks this is a good idea, I'm willing to eat the $15 a month to give unlimited time on this. What do people think about that?
I don't think we need more than 40 minutes.
Agreed.
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 And I think it's nice to be able that we could get together and say a few things and move things along. So if there's any cost to doing that, Dave, the club will take care of that.
Yes.
So is there a way to see all the people on the same screen? I can only see 4 at a time. If I shift the screen, I can see 4 more.
Yeah, okay, up at the top, there's a little grid that's little squares.
No?
No.
Up in the upper right, there's a little square, right?
Gallery
No.
view?
You see a little square?
No.
Oh, darn.
No,
I think, Hannah, what you're saying, I think, is when you have, you're looking at it on a computer or iPad. But I think, Ann, you're on your phone.
yes, I'm on a smartphone.
Yeah, I don't think you can see more than 4 at any one time.
I'm seeing all of you right now.
On what kind of a system?
Well, Zoom system, I just hit that square, like Hannah talked about, it says gallery view.
Are you on
I
a
hit that
PC?
and screen changed and I got all of you here.
Are you on a
An iPad,
PC?
right? iPad?
I'm on a MacBook, rather iMac.
Yeah. So a big.
So
It's okay.
I'm-
Next time I'll use an iPad.
I'm on an iPad and I see the speaker and myself in a little tiny picture.
Well, who else do you need, Carl?
Shift your screen, Carl, shift your screen to the left, sweep left. It should bring up more people.
No, but there's some writing on top. But anyway, I'm satisfied as it is.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think if we have an emergency where we find out one of us is not doing well or needs some help, this would be a great way to get the word out too.
It's unmuted though.
This is John, by the way. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, I can
Yes.
hear you.
Yeah, and I can see
Actually, this is John Bruce. There's 2 Johns on board right now. Can you hear me? My mic has not been.
Yes.
We-
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a suggestion that we might look into. I don't know what it would cost, but maybe we should put a quarter-page ad in the bulletin, just thanking the people that are out working, helping to keep those of us that can't go out very often safe and so on, and explain maybe some kind of a comment that our finances are limited. We're working through like everyone else is.
Quarter-page ad's pretty expensive.
Yeah, I didn't know how much it would cost or what that would be.
My
So
wife
if-
told me that one of the papers are doing these ads for free. Let me check with her. Hold on.
The last item we have, and I'd like to get this
Service Club might get it.
moving, so well, he's checking on that, and that is the nomination process. What's your thoughts about doing that? I'm sure that if we delayed it, KI wouldn't care. If we want to get it done over the internet, some thoughts.
Well,
I think we ought to wait a month before we make that decision.
Central Oregon News is putting these ads on for free. I guess it's the TV, the news that's doing them. So we might want to look into that.
Okay.
But in the
then
meantime, we could
will
post
just
something.
Simply put this off until next month, and we'll meet again next month.
Yes.
Okay, any other thoughts before we shut her down?
Well, let's pick a date for when we want to do this, so I know.
We have the chamber reserved for the 4th Tuesday. So I don't know whether we want to hang loose and say that maybe 10 days out, we'll decide whether we want to gather or whether we want to go to Zoom. But anyway, we do have the chamber reserved for the 4th Tuesday.
The chamber is closed, so that might answer our question.
Yeah.
We'll tentatively put it at May the 28th, April the 28th.
That's the date.
That's tentative. If anything else comes up, we can gather on the same, fairly quickly. We'll work with Dave and Carl to make sure everybody gets that information. Is that okay?
Okay.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Good. In that case,
One more
stay
thing.
safe.
One more
and-
thing. I want to thank Dave, this group of old people together, or some of us are young people. Excuse me, Josh. And I had my doubts we could get a quorum.
Well, Josh is guilt by association.
Call you right back.
Speak for yourself, Annie.
Okay, thanks, Jeff.
Ah,
Hey, you
okay.
folks, stay safe out there.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
How do I